After 75, life teaches lessons no book ever could. Some are tender, some are brutally honest. Growing older isn't just about celebrating birthdays. It's about facing hard truths. Sometimes quietly, sometimes painfully. We don't often talk about them, but they are real. These are the things we live through when the noise of youth fades and only truth remains. Aging strips the noise and leaves you with truth. Today, we are sharing 10 brutal realities that come with aging. Not to scare you, not to make you feel small, but to open a conversation that matters because we're in this together. And there's strength in honesty. These aren't theories. They're real. They're raw. And they come from the lives of millions of people over 75, maybe even you. Stay until the end. Number 6 and 10 are something almost every older adult silently struggles with, yet few talk about. Let's get started. Reality 1. Your social circle shrinks. When you're younger, life feels like a party. Friends drop by, your phone rings, laughter fills the air. But after 75, something shifts. Slowly, silently, the room gets quieter. Friends pass away. Some move into care homes. Children grow up, move far away, and get busy. Your phone doesn't ring like it used to. You may be surrounded by people and still feel completely alone. A study by the National Institute on Aging found that 43% of adults over 75 feel isolated regularly. The holidays hurt. Weekends drag. Birthdays come with more silence than celebration. Loneliness isn't just emotional. It affects your body, too. Isolation increases the risk of heart disease, dementia, and even early death. But here's the good news. Connection doesn't have to be big. It just has to be real. Start small. Say hello to a neighbor. Join a walking group. Volunteer at your local library. Or simply call someone. You may be the friend they were hoping for too. A shrinking circle doesn't mean shrinking value. It's a call to create new connections, not despite your age. Reality 2. Your body starts saying no. At 40, you could climb stairs like nothing. At 60, they made you breathe a bit harder. After 75, they feel like a mountain. Your joints ache. Your legs feel heavier. Getting up from a chair becomes a mission. But inside, you still feel like you. That spark never left. Only now, your body doesn't always follow your mind. Muscle loss, called sarcopenia, naturally increases with age. It's part of why everyday tasks feel harder. And according to medical research, by age 80, people lose up to 40% of their muscle mass compared to when they were 30. Pain becomes familiar. Fatigue becomes normal. But surrender isn't the answer. Reality 3. Doctors become a regular part of life. You used to visit the doctor once a year. Now, it feels like they know your birthday. Appointments, medications, test results, your calendar starts to fill with white coats and waiting rooms. Health becomes your second job, but behind every visit is a simple desire to keep living, to feel just a little bit better, to understand what your body is going through. According to the CDC, people over 75 take an average of 6 to 8 medications daily. That's a lot to manage. Let's meet Arthur, 77. He told us, "I was overwhelmed. Different pills, different times. I started a notebook. Every doctor visit, I write down what they say, and I ask questions. I became my own health boss." His story reminds us, aging doesn't mean giving up control. It means taking the wheel. Write your symptoms before visits. Bring a loved one to appointments. Ask about side effects. Get second opinions if something doesn't feel right. You deserve answers. You deserve clear care. Doctors may become regular, but you are still the expert on your own body. Reality 4. Time feels shorter, but moments feel bigger. Remember when years felt endless? Now weeks fly by like seconds. You blink, and another season has passed. Time, after 75, feels different. But strangely, every moment means more. A child's laugh, a hot cup of tea, a handwritten letter. These things hit deeper now. You don't take them for granted because you understand what they're really worth. This is one of the most beautiful parts of aging. Life becomes sharper, richer, not because it got easier, but because you've learned to see what matters. You think more about legacy than to-do lists. You value presence more than possessions. You realize that happiness isn't in having more, it's in feeling deeply. Be intentional. Journal your thoughts or memories. Send short voice messages to family. Take more slow walks without your phone. Time may feel faster, but you now have the power to slow down your attention, and that's something younger people are still trying to learn. Reality 5. The world feels faster and colder. Technology changes fast. Devices get smaller. Screens get brighter. Instructions are filled with words you've never heard before. And the people? Sometimes they seem impatient. Rushed, like they don't have time to truly see you. Many seniors feel like they've been left behind in a world that's speeding up without them. But remember this, you're not outdated. You're experienced. And curiosity is your superpower. Ask for help without shame. Learn one new tech skill a month. Stay connected, even if it's just sending emojis to your grandkids. You don't have to keep up with the speed of the world. Just walk confidently in your own rhythm. That's enough. If you are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment 5 below to let me know you are here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell icon, because you never miss the next videos designed to live gratefully after 60. Moreover, your support inspired and motivated us to create more insightful contents and tips about health and wellness, mindfulness practice, simple fitness routine, memory and brain health, inspirational stories, retirement life advice, and wisdom sharing tip. Because together, we're building a space for guidance, inspiration, and the strength to age with grace and purpose. Reality 6. People talk to you differently. There's a moment many older adults remember clearly: the first time someone talked down to them. It might have been in a store, at a doctor's office, or even from a grandchild. A voice that was too loud, a tone that felt too sweet, words chosen as if you were a child, not a full-grown adult with decades of life experience. It's one of the hardest parts of aging, not the wrinkles, not the gray hair, but the change in how people treat you. You've built a family, survived hardships, maybe raised children, built a career, traveled the world. You've made sacrifices and faced moments that would break others. But now, the world sees the wrinkles before the wisdom, the slowness before the strength. Margaret, 81, told us about a moment that changed everything for her. I walked into a mobile store to ask about a new phone plan. The young man behind the counter looked at me and said, "Oh, sweetie, this might be too tricky for you. Maybe a family member should help you." I looked him straight in the eyes and said, "I worked as a telecom engineer for 30 years, before you were even born." That day, Margaret didn't just correct someone. She reminded the world, age is not inability. Her voice? Calm. Her pride? Unshakable. Her message? Clear. Treat me with the dignity I've earned. Many younger people simply don't know better. They associate age with decline, forgetting that older people often have richer minds and deeper patience than they'll ever understand. Some may fear aging themselves. Others assume you need help with everything just because your hair is white or your pace is slower. It's called elder speak, a term used when people talk to seniors the way they might talk to children, slowly, loudly, with simplified words, or with a sugary tone. Research shows that elder speak can actually lower self-esteem and increase feelings of helplessness in older adults. But here's the truth. How people speak to you doesn't define your worth, but how you respond can teach them your value. You may not be able to stop people from assuming things, but you can correct them with grace and strength. Reality 7. The mirror can feel like a stranger. You catch your reflection, and for a second, you pause. Who is that? When did my hair turn so gray? When did my skin begin to fold? The mirror doesn't lie, but it also doesn't tell the full story. What it doesn't show is your resilience and your memories. The thousands of times you got back up when life knocked you down. Wrinkles? Those are survival marks. They're proof you lived. Look deeper. Celebrate your history. Your reflection may change, but your light never fades. Aging isn't about losing beauty. It's about discovering a new kind of beauty, one that's earned, not painted. Reality 8. Financial worries don't retire. You worked for decades, saved, planned, but now bills seem bigger. Healthcare costs more. And sometimes money runs out before the month does. Aging should bring peace, not panic. But too often, money becomes a worry again. According to the National Council on Aging, over 25 million Americans aged 60 plus are economically insecure. Ask for help. Revisit your budget. Cut unnecessary expenses that cause stress. A look for senior discounts or community programs. Money doesn't define your worth. Your peace matters more than your balance sheet. Reality 9. Grief becomes a companion. There's an empty chair at the table now. A voice you loved hearing is gone. Grief doesn't knock. It walks right in and sits with you, quietly, sometimes daily. You miss your friends, your spouse, maybe even parts of yourself you used to recognize. But grief is also love that has nowhere to go. It shows up because you dare to love deeply. Talk about them. Say their names. Light a candle. Write letters. Let yourself cry. And most of all, remember, grief shared is grief softened. You carry them forward every day you keep living. Reality 10. Sleep becomes a struggle, but healing rest is still possible. It's 3 a.m. Again, you're staring at the ceiling. The world is quiet, but your mind is wide awake. This is the quiet battle many older adults fight every night, not with pain or loneliness, but with sleep. When you were younger, you could sleep through anything, barking dogs, loud music, even thunder. But now, every small noise feels like a loud knock. You lie there, watching the clock, hoping sleep will come back. And when it finally does, it's light broken and leaves you feeling tired by morning. You're not alone. In fact, studies show that nearly 50% of people over 65 experience some kind of sleep issue, from waking up too early to not sleeping at all. As we get older, our bodies go through changes that affect sleep, and many of them are completely natural. Here is why. 1. Melatonin levels drop. Melatonin is the hormone that tells our body it's time to rest. As we age, our body makes less of it, which means it's harder to fall into that deep, restful sleep we once enjoyed. 2. Lighter sleep cycles. 3. Frequent bathroom trips. 4. Busy minds and worry. 5. Medical conditions and medications. Some people say, "I'm older, I don't need as much sleep." That's only partly true. Yes, older adults may need a little less sleep, but not much less. The average older adult still needs 6 to 8 hours a night to keep their memory sharp, balance mood, strengthen the immune system, heal the body, prevent falls and accidents, support heart and brain health. Sleep isn't just a break from the day, it's the body's repair time. And without it, your energy fades, your thinking gets foggy, and your emotions feel heavier. White, heavy checkmark simple ways to sleep better, even now. You don't need to change everything, but a few powerful steps can make your nights feel more restful and your days feel more energized. Stick to a sleep schedule. No caffeine after lunch. Make your bedroom a sleep zone. Create a bedtime ritual. Limit screens before bed. Exercise during the day. Let the light in during the day. Natural daylight helps reset your inner clock. Spend time near a window or take a walk in morning sun. The 10 brutal realities of aging you can't ignore. Not easy to hear, not easy to live through, but also not the end. Aging strips away the noise. What's left is real, raw, and beautiful in its honesty. You've earned the right to slow down, to feel deeply, to be heard, to love again, to rest, to say no, to say yes. Because while aging comes with losses, it also brings clarity, simplicity, and freedom. Your social circle shrinks, but new bonds are possible. Your body weakens, but movement keeps you going. Doctors become regular, but you still have power over your care. Time speeds up, but moments become rich. The world rushes, but you get to choose peace. People speak differently, but your voice still matters. The mirror changes, but your soul remains stunning. Grief visits, but love lives on. Money tightens, but wisdom stretches. Sleep slips, but rest can be reclaimed. Now it's your turn. Which reality hit home for you? Leave a comment. Let someone else know they're not alone. You are not alone. You're with Elder Wisdom Table. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Elder Wisdom Table and click the bell icon, because you never miss a tip designed to help you live gratefully after 60. Share this video to your loved ones. Let me see in the comment what you learned from this episode. Share your story or experience someone may learn from your tip. Moreover, reading your valuable comment is inspired and motivated us to create more insightful contents and tips about health and wellness, mindfulness practice, simple fitness routine, memory and brain health, inspirational stories, retirement life advice, and wisdom sharing tip. Because together, we're building a space for guidance, inspiration, and the strength to age with grace and purpose. Get inspired, stay informed, and most of all, keep living wisely. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.